Scientists think that they've found two key bacteria that cause multiple sclerosis. The findings come from a study that focused on twins, where one sibling has the disease and the other doesn't. And to learn more, we welcome Dr. Barry Hendon. He's a neurologist at Banner University Medical Center, Phoenix. Doctor, good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're talking multiple sclerosis here. Let's set the definition. What is multiple sclerosis?
We define multiple sclerosis as an immune-mediated disorder. That means it involves the immune system, in which the immune system is misprogrammed so that, as opposed to going after the pathogens that ought to, bacteria and viruses, it misinterprets and goes after the myelin of the central nervous system. That means the optic nerve, the brain, and the spinal cord.
Wow, what makes it go the wrong direction?
That's still a mystery. We're getting closer and closer, but the answer would be that it's a combination of genetic susceptibilities involving multiple genes and also triggers that act on those susceptible people.
And we have you here because there might be a connection, or perhaps there is a connection, to gut bacteria. Talk to us about that.
So this is another trigger. You mentioned the study of twins. It was a really elegant German study in which they looked at 8 sets of twins and found that if they took the microbiome, the microbes from the intestine of the twins with MS, and injected those into mice, particularly vulnerable mice, that 6 out of 8 developed a picture, the mice, that would be consistent with an MS-like picture.
Wow.
But that if they took the same microbes from the intestines of the pairs that did not have MS, they did not. The mice did not develop MS. So this really indicated something we've known for a while, and that is the microbiome, particularly in the gut, can either produce a more inflammatory or a more quieting effect on the immune system.
So, and again, these bacteria, they're found in what I understand is an area where there's a lot of these pro-inflammatory T cells and other things going on. That's kind of a hint that they're not such good to have around.
That's right. So the microbiome of the gut is our friend and our enemy simultaneously. When it behaves, it's our friend, and it talks to the immune system in a way that is productive for both the microbes and for the immune system. But sometimes it misbehaves and creates a more inflammatory response, and that's when it causes probably a worsening of disease.
Okay, but do we know, could it be food? Could it be external factors, exposure? What makes this stuff misbehave?
All the above. So we know that there are multiple triggers, that in the vulnerable population there are multiple triggers. Lack of sunlight, lack of vitamin D, maybe childhood obesity, and most importantly on the infectious side, the EB virus, the virus that causes mononucleosis. But this discussion is about the human microbiome, and there it looks like there are inflammatory components, and there are things that we do that increase that and things that we do that decrease that. For example, how we eat, what our lifestyle is, all those things can change whether we create a more inflammatory or less inflammatory.
How do we eat to create a less inflammatory? I can figure out how to make a more one. I got a pretty good idea on that one. But how do you cut it down?
So the idea is that maybe if we ate more natural foods, less processed foods, with more fiber, that we would be doing something that would create a more friendly environment in the gut. And I think a part of wellness is doing the same. Are we exercising? Have we stopped smoking? Have we kept our alcohol modest in intake? So how we eat, how we exercise, how we live in our lifestyle, all create changes in that microbiome.
But you can do all that, and that stuff could still be there, and that stuff will get out and do some damage.
That's exactly right. It's all about susceptibility. So I don't think you can create a perfect environment in which it's impossible to get MS, nor an environment in which you must get MS. But you can change the odds. Yeah. And I think that's what we try to do as clinicians, change the odds.
Real quickly, last question. Can this be applied to other conditions?
This can be applied to multiple other conditions, including many of the autoimmune or immune-mediated disorders.
Interesting, interesting. Good stuff. Dr. Barry Hendon again, Banner University Medical Center, Phoenix. Encouraging news and good to hear. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.